Welcome to the second part of this special edition Run With. So this is the second part of a two-part special, and I really hope you enjoyed the first part and you're back here again to see the second. Did that start improving once you hit the trails?
Yeah, it did actually. I mean, I did. Yes, I had one stress reaction, but actually I think that was a poor choice of shoes in a race. And but apart from that, I just had a few tendon issues I had never had before. And that's, I guess, just from being a long time running, you know, as in I was running for a long period of time in a race. But apart from that, no, it did change. And it's weird because I hated trail running, absolutely hated. Like, I even running on the towpath on the canal, which is not a trail, it's gravel.
That's so hard.
Well, I did all my training on stuff like that, but for me and road, I mean, I would be. So yesterday it's quite funny. I did a run. Because I've only been here a year in this area, and I plotted a route on my watch, and I'm still never quite sure of the roads. And as usual, I always end up running on some bloody Grade A road. And I'm running down the road going, oh God, here we go. But I was laughing at myself yesterday because back in the day, I would have loved that. Yeah. I did all my training on the biggest main roads I could possibly do. Yeah. Because it was flat, tarmac, lovely. Yeah. I didn't care what I was looking at. If cars were whizzing past, that's brilliant. It means I'm in the zone. Whereas now I'm the complete opposite. I want to be in somewhere lovely and some technical trails or whatever, rivers and things, and so when I started doing the trail running, I stopped getting those impact injuries, you know, because I was on softer ground. I was also on different terrain. As much as I wasn't very good at it to start with, still not brilliant, but I was using different muscles, and yeah, I mean, it was a real game changer for me. It took me a while to get my head around it, and also running so much slower. Yeah. That's the thing.
Yeah, it's not fast stuff like on the roads.
No, you have to step away from that and step away from watching the clock all the time, because when you do like a 25-minute mile up a mountain, that's what it takes you. And
you know a thing or two about running up mountains. You've done some pretty big races. You've done UTMB.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. How was that? What year did you do that? 2017?
No, it was last. What is 2018? No. What was last year? 2019. 2018. Yeah, 2018. Yeah. 2018.
How was UTMB and how?
Oh God, it was.
Tell me about the race.
Oh, that's a whole other podcast. It was the hardest thing I've ever done. Yeah. But it was mainly because I just wasn't very well during it. I was quite sick very early on, and as a result it was just a absolute slog to get through it. But oh my God, it's an amazing race. I mean, I've walked it, I'd ran it, I've done the CCC twice before, which was what I thought was really, well, it's 100k and you think bloody hell, and it's 100k around UTMB, so it's still hard, you know, it's hard. And then, but the UTMB is a whole different thing. It's another, well, actually 70k, because it's over 100 miles. It's another 70k, but it's you know, I went into a second night, and when you,
I can't imagine.
Oh, it's just, I've never had hallucinations like it. I've really never had anything like it, and it really teaches you something. And I think also once you start doing ultras, and especially stuff like that, and people who do much longer stuff and crazier stuff, you basically, everything else is easier. Yeah. So you do it, and you just, and it really pulled my pants down and smacked me in the arse.
Okay, so whilst you're there, you're hallucinating on the side of a mountain in the middle of nowhere.
Shitting my pants constantly.
Well, how do you pull yourself through that? How do you...
Do you want the honest answer?
Yes.
Alan Lee was behind me. Yeah. He was one of the front runners. Yeah. And also a lot of the front runners who, as you know, I sort of look after, and other people I knew were doing it and also just willing me on. And for me, I just thought, I know that Alan's going to do this. Yeah. So I've got to do it. Yeah. And I know that there's other people around me. At this point as well, I was so delirious, I thought I was lost. I had no idea like where I was because I just couldn't comprehend it. Because I slept for like an hour in one checkpoint as well because I was so bad, wrapped in a foil blanket. And so I had no idea where I was going. I just needed to get it done. And the other thing was, so this is one of the things, I had a stress reaction in my foot going into it. And all I kept saying to myself was like, I can only stop if my foot starts hurting, which I was convinced it would, because you would think, oh, 170k, it's probably going to hurt. And it didn't. And actually I should have been thankful for that. But all the time I kept thinking, please, why are you not broken? Why are you okay? You know.
You should be okay. I can remember actually training, but leading up to that.
It wasn't ideal.
No, it wasn't. You had the foot issue, didn't you? So
yeah, so I'd gone out there a month before to train, and I couldn't run when I got there. Yeah, so I was turboing and hiking. Yeah. If I was doing a road marathon, I wouldn't have been able to done it. But this is a different race. You can, because a lot of it's hiking. Yeah. But I started, the mountains healed me. But I did, I was all right. It was just I had other issues, unfortunately, on the day. And my foot was fine. So
that didn't give you an excuse to stop?
No, it gave me no excuse to stop. There were other things. Obviously, I was being very sick, and I had really bad stomach, and that was not good. And so for me, I couldn't get enough energy in.
So I guess at that point you're dehydrated as well because you're not keeping going.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I was there, so when I stopped at Champex-Lac, which is I think 100k, and I can't remember. That's when the medics had to give me anti-sickness drugs because I just was so ill, and I just couldn't see a way of going forward. But the thing is with races like that, you just have to take each bit at a time. You can't think of the whole thing, and everyone says that. The same with the marathon, just don't think of it as one block. But I genuinely had to, and all I wanted to do is I wanted to get to Tryon, which is where I'd stayed for the whole month before, and I was going to see my parents and I was going to see the dog, and I knew that I was looking forward to seeing them, and I just thought, and then when I got there, you think actually it's only another 30k or something of mountains, but you just do one bit at a time, and then when you finish it, like so when I finished it, I knew how bad I would feel if I didn't finish it. And so when I did finish, it was just like, oh my God, I've done it. And if I can do that, I can do anything. I really can. And it did take quite a while for me to actually get over it physically and mentally. I felt properly like battle scarred from it.
Yeah, I can imagine.
I was quite emotional the week after because I couldn't believe I'd done it, and I was just in a bit of a daze.
Because it just sounds like such a. It almost sounds horrendous. It was very well.
No, God, it was. I mean, I can't tell you. When I came in Champex-Lac, I remember just going, I can't do it. And everyone was just like, just sit down. I changed my shorts twice because I'd ruined them. I mean, I was just awful. It was awful.
You've gone through this absolute atrocious mental and physical battle, but afterwards,
the beer tasted so good. I went straight to the pub. There's a pub at the finish line. I went straight to the pub and had a pint and some crisps, from what I can remember. But yeah, God, do it, but you do need to train for it because it's just not very nice.
Yes, I can imagine you need lots of trainings. I do remember at one point I wanted to do CCC, and then I fell pregnant with Harry, which is all very good. And then I thought, oh, do you know what? I can still do it after I had Harry. I was like, oh, you don't need to.
Well, if you want to get away from him for a few hours, then it's a good thing to do.
Yeah, it's probably a good thing. And I'd probably mentally feel better up about it.
Yeah.
But then I decided not to do it. And to actually take my time over a few years and do it.
Yeah, but do it. It is like the thing is it's the.
I don't know if you sold it very well.
No, but CCC is considerably shorter. You can actually do the OCC as well, which is even shorter.
But isn't that harder with the elevation?
Well, I mean, no, because it's still you're on sections of it. I can't remember the total elevation, but so I was supposed to be doing TDS this year, but obviously that got cancelled, and I did it specifically because it was the shorter than UTMB, but it's much more wilder. And then of course this year they changed it, which it will be next year, to longer. So it's 145k, but actually almost the same amount of climbing as UTMB. So it's actually harder.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping to do that. It's taken me several years to be able to say I'll do it again. That's how sort of scarring it was to me. But then there's people I know who do it every year who just love it and they're just nuts.
Yeah. But I think it's a whole vibe. It's the whole experience.
The whole week. And also, it's a dream. Like, I would remember I used to watch people do it, so I'd never do anything like that. It's completely like 100-mile race. I would never do a 100-mile race, and then you do it. So I've already done a 100-mile before that as well, other race, and then I did that, and then so it is. Once you've done it, it is a bit. If you start doing stuff like this, as you know as well, just doing marathons and then ultras, you start to think crazy thoughts about what you could do. You know, that there's like, well, how far can I? You know, that's the other thing. I think I've done that, and I got through that in that horrible state. You know, what if I'd done it and I wasn't so ill?
Yeah.
And I didn't have a fractured foot. So what could I do?
And do you think that, especially with endurance runners, like, you know, we love trails, we love ultras.
Yeah.
And when you do one thing, you kind of want to push it some more to get that same feeling back as of doing something for the first time, or something so extreme, because it is extreme going and running up a mountain for over 24 hours. You know, it's absolutely savage. And do you think there's that kind of like adrenaline junkie kind of thing?
Definitely.
You're constantly trying to strive just to find something that hits the spot.
I don't know what. I don't know if it's true, but I'm sure you feel it. I've just had a flashback to something one of your races. Sorry, you need to re-show this. Do a clip in with this of you on your. Was it the Race of the Stones where you're crying and walking and
Race of the Tower?
Oh, Race of the Tower. That's
Race of the Tower.
Oh.
Coming up to pit stop 6. 38 point something miles. Just one to go then, and then the finish. Oh, and gate 95. Joy. I'm not gonna lie, I feel like I could burst into tears. It's hard. Anyway. 13 point something miles to go. Then I get to see my babies. I've also stocked up on cookies. Do you ever see a tree and think, that is a nice tree? That's a nice tree.
Oh my God. We were following Kelly and all the front runners, and it was just like, oh yeah, having a great time, yeah. And then it's so funny. I should laugh, and it was just like,
yeah. So I storied quite a bit of my emotional roller coaster at Race of the Tower.
So you know what it's like. It's like, and then when you do it, you feel really proud of yourself. I felt really proud of myself that I'd done it. I properly did. Yeah. Whereas when I'd done marathons, it was always like, oh, I haven't done that time, or I was shit, or I've done that. Whereas with this, it was like, I didn't care where I came or what time I did. You do a bit later on when you go, oh, if I'd not slept in a checkpoint for an hour, I could have won it, you know? But you look back on it and you're just like properly proud.
I think you really hit the nail on the head there. With marathons, you always end up a little bit disappointed.
Yeah, you're never totally, there's always something. Yeah. It's the perfectionist in us, and because that's why we do this. Yeah. But I think in terms of the ultras and the pushing yourself, and I'm sure that you understand this, and that's why when you're injured, it's the worst thing. It's that feeling of, and this is what non-runners don't really understand. It's the feeling of that total exhaustion at the end, isn't it? Yeah. It's addictive, and we're probably definitely in the minority of humans that we love to feel totally spent.
And I don't know about you, but you know when everything hurts, and everything does hurt, and everything just, but there's something quite satisfying about.
And you're on a high. Yeah. Even though you can't move.
You're hurting. But it's because you've just done something so epic.
Yeah. And at the time you're like, please let it be over, please let it be over. And then you finish. And then when it's the typical ultra thing, is like, I'm never doing that again. And then within half an hour you're like, what's next? Is there a race? Yeah. And it is addictive. Yeah. But I love that that changes over time. So you go from, being all about times and about placings and stuff, and you still want to do well, but you look for other challenges. Yeah,
more the experience, I think.
Yeah. And just that feeling, just like last weekend, racing again, it was so good. I was actually really nervous about racing again. It's a very different type of racing now. It's interesting because you don't know who you're racing. And so last week I didn't know who was in front of me or where I finished, but actually it's quite fun.
Because you've just got to carry on going.
And when you finish, you go, I don't know where you've come. We'll send you a trophy in the post if you've won. You're like, so you just go over the line, get your medal, get a coffee, and go home. It's just really random.
Where's the presentation?
Yeah. Where is my check?
No, it's really good. Now you're a coach, and you work together with Pete. And you do a strength and running program combined.
Yeah, concurrent programs.
Yeah, that's the word.
Yeah. It sounds better.
It does sound better, more professional. But yeah, so you do these programs for different abilities, different distances, and all the rest of it. How vital is strength to running?
Oh, if I only knew that then, I might have been a different athlete. I don't know, but it's. I think it's just as important, actually. I think, unfortunately, I used to wait until I was injured before I started doing proper.
I think most people do, don't they?
Yeah. And like, I used to go into you'd think I'd have had a proper strength program, but I used to go into the gym whenever I was walking past it, and go in and go around and go on some machines and do some stuff, and then walk out. I really didn't know why I was doing that, or there was no structure or plan or progression like there would be like with running, and when I did do it, I did what we all used to do, and some people still do, is lots of repetitions at a lower weight or a weight that I could stand, but I would do lots of repetitions. And then the next day I couldn't sit down on the toilet because my adductors hurt so bad, and therefore I couldn't run as well as I wanted to, and my session would be slower because I felt really tight or tired. And so therefore, as a runner, running is my priority, so I'll drop the strength. And so I did do stuff where I had a high hamstring tendinopathy actually for quite a long time, and I did a lot of glute activation work and stuff, but it wasn't with any weights. So it's not strength work, it's conditioning.
Yeah.
So I was doing stuff like that, but that's fine. But you can only do so much of that again. That I've learned since that you end up doing more repetitions and just getting more tired, but you're not loading. So I wasn't getting strong. So it wasn't until actually after UTMB that I said to myself, I've got to change this. The other thing as well, vanity again, I hit 40 and I felt like I'd just become completely flat. As in physically flat and mentally flat, but everything just seemed to be dropping down me, and I just wasn't, I just didn't look good, I didn't feel good. Like I said, I'd had injuries all my career. Why I hadn't even thought about doing this, but because my priority was always running, it was always about mileage, how many miles. And so it wasn't until I stopped thinking about that, and I made a plan, and I started doing 2 strength sessions a week with Pete as a strength coach, and that was the thing that I found really hard. So I'd go in and we'd do maybe four moves, and then he'd be like, okay, that's that. But like we'd build up to a weight. It would be my 1 rep max, and then we'd bring it down, and I would do say 4 repetitions, and I'd go, what? Well, what's the point of that? And he'd be like,
we haven't been here.
Yeah, he goes, so this is how you train. This is how you train. This is strength training, and you will see a difference. I didn't see anything for a while. That's for me as a runner. You want to see that feedback. Yeah, and I didn't see that, and then 8 weeks later, just like bang.
Yeah.
Something happened. I'd had an SI joint inflammation for a long time. That went. I was able to. I could never do a full pull up. I did a pull up. I was squatting heavier weights. I was able to run the next day. I was able to run straight afterwards and never got any soreness. I changed shape. So I was like, it was a win-win thing.
Yeah.
I did drop my mileage, yes. Yeah. But I didn't need to be doing that mileage. I've got years and years of mileage behind me, and it was just easy miles. So I'd get rid of the easy miles, and then I would do my strength stuff. And actually, since lockdown, I've changed it even more. So I don't do any more near as much mileage as I used to do. So it's become a part of my life now.
And you enjoy the gym now? You enjoy the
Yeah, I really, really love it. I love getting... That's the other thing. So I won't get PBs... I won't get PBs on the road anymore. So I get PBs in the gym, and so it's nice to have that. It's have something to aim for, and so that's the thing I love, and I love getting stronger. I love that I look better at my age, and I love that. I had a bone DEXA scan last year, and I don't have osteoporosis anymore.
That's amazing.
Which is amazing,
yeah.
and that's not just to strength. That's to eating much more food, not doing as many miles, having periods, sleeping, all of that stuff. But strength has definitely helped, and it's strength, it's not conditioning, it's strength. So I lift as heavy as I can. For me, this is all within reason, and I'm probably lifting about 3 times a week.
And it's made you stronger, more resilient, and better.
Yeah, I mean, I will get injured again, I'm sure, but
because a lot of people say, oh, you know, I'm going to stay injury free. This magic phrase, injury free. I don't think there's such thing as a runner who can stay injury free. Very, very few people on this planet can say that they've stayed injury free, because it's parcel of being a runner, isn't it? Picking up.
It's on, and you're on that pinnacle as well. More so when you're at a really high level, you're not actually very healthy, but you're on that pinnacle. But I think that I say to the people I coach or people I know, I'll say, when you're injured, and myself, just be warned that this will happen again. It's not. You're not sort of made of Teflon.
No. It's part.
It is part, and and it is depressing because we can't do what we love. That's the thing, and we don't get those feelings from maybe going out on the bike. But it does lessen as you get older and you have more training years behind you or running years. You do become better. You do deal with it better. Everyone around me was like, what? You're an arsehole when you're injured. But I mean, I used to be awful when I was injured. Now I am much more grounded, I think. But I won't do the cross training.
I guess you know, running is always going to be there, and you will get back to it at some point.
Yeah, of course, and that's what you have to remember. And also, it's the things like I used to when I was injured, which was a lot when I was competing. I would absolutely smash myself cross training in the gym, even though I hated every single minute of aqua jogging for hours a day. I hated it, but I knew I had to do it to stay as fit as I could because I had a race coming up. Now, I won't do that because I hate cross training that much, and I hate it that much. I don't want to do it. I will lift in the gym. That's the great thing now. I enjoy that, so I'll do that. But I'll go for a walk or something.
Yeah, and enjoy it.
Yeah, and just accept that maybe for how many weeks I'll lose fitness, but it doesn't matter. So your body will actually thank you for that, because all the time you're smashing yourself cross training when you're injured, you're slowing the recovery process, because your body does need, because you're injured, you're hurting, you're trying to repair, and if you're pushing at that time still by doing other things, it takes longer to repair. So why not? Charlie Spedding's book actually is a brilliant thing. When he got injured, he used to go to bed.
Sleep, recovery.
But it's great. But just wait till it's gone. You know?
No, I do. Yeah. It's brilliant. Yeah. I can understand that. I've been cross training through my current injury. But last week I just decided I just
went out walking.
Just walking, and just like, do you know what? What's the point in beasting myself on the bike in the garage?
I think also mentally you do need to do stuff. Don't get me wrong. But if you're doing it and just like crying inside.
Yeah. I mean, I've got to say, I don't mind cross training on the bike because I read at the same time.
Yeah,
which is
I know. I've seen you do that
because the book does get soggy.
But that's good. That's fine then. But if you were doing something you absolutely hated, like I said to you, Kelly, actually no, you've got to go you've got to aqua jog for 2 hours a day. I can't tell you how boring that is. And you've got no music to listen to or watch, but you have to do that.
Yeah, that would just suck my.
But if you knew you had a big race in 2 weeks' time, and if you just could do that for 2 weeks and you've got that at the end of it, you would probably do it. But if you haven't, like at the moment, we've got no real goals, then
what's the point?
Be kind to yourself.
Just relax, just ride it out, and I actually think relaxing about it does speed up the recovery process, because I don't know what it is when you're stressed and you're trying to chase the same endorphins, which you're not going to get, and you're trying to keep up your fitness, which you're not going to maintain anyway, not to the same level as when you're running. Miles.
I agree.
I think it just stresses you out, and I think your body reacts negatively to stress, whatever stress it is. I think it's just, I don't think it's beneficial to be stressing about it at all.
It's not, but I do understand the gremlin in your ear, though.
Yeah, I mean, we're both saying this.
Yeah, but we know that.
Been there.
Yeah, the gremlin in the ear that's like, oh dear, or you're going to get fat.
Yeah.
You're going to get fat and you're going to get really slow.
Yeah.
And you're never going to run again.
Yeah.
It's stuff like that. But you, and also social media.
Yeah.
You're looking at what everyone else is doing.
I think that is another part of it, is because social media, if you feel that you've got to have something to post, you've got to have something to talk about, because you're an injured runner. What are you going to...
But as soon as you talk about, if you actually posted and said, actually, this is how I'm feeling, I do feel really shit, but I understand that me doing loads of stuff now wouldn't be detrimental. But I know that inside I've got this demon telling me I should.
Yeah.
And I think if you did that, which people do, you get so many people coming back and saying, actually, this is exactly how I feel as well.
It's relatable as well.
It is.
Actually real people.
Yeah.
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 So, end of every interview
Oh, no.
is a would you rather question.
Okay, cool.
No.
Is it lots of questions, or is it just one?
Just one.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So we've had shoes with Dan. Matt had, would he rather run uphill or downhill?
Oh, what did he say?
Uphill. Uphill. Oh, he has watched the interview, really?
No, it's on. Yeah, no, I have got to watch it. I've been very busy. It's my birthday.
What would you do?
What's that?
Just this isn't your.
Oh, okay.
Rather, but uphill or downhill?
It's actually a really good question, actually. Is this on road or is it technical?
Oh no, it's just road. It's just plain.
Oh, if it's road, it would be downhill. Although running downhill on the road ultra is what did my SI joint in, so I actually probably shouldn't do that. But it's preferable than running up. Oh, I don't know. So if it was technical down, it would definitely be no. It would be up. So no, let's say up, because I think it's the safest thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. But it's hard work.
It is hard work,
yeah.
But he said it was worth it once you got to the top. It's usually because you're getting...
Yeah, but it's worth it when you do run downhill when you get to the bottom. Well, then, yeah, you might have to go if it's the finish.
It's worth it for me because I get fast.
Yeah, you roll, yeah.
I'm only ever fast going downhill.
Yeah, see, technical down, I'm not. But, yeah, a good question.
It is a good question. So yours is...
oh, God.
It's kind of a... Okay, right, let's have a think. Okay, so I'll ask you the simple version first. Road or trail? For the rest of your life, you can only run road, or would you rather run trail?
Trail.
That
was the easy answer.
That's what I figured you would say.
Yeah.
I agree. What about if you could have a really successful career, gold medals lining your wall in road running or trail running, then which one would you?
Road.
Road.
Yeah.
Why is that?
This sounds really elitist, because road is where all the medals are.
Yeah.
You don't go to do trail running in the Olympics.
So roads is where the glory is.
Yeah, you can do like mountain champs and stuff like that, but I mean, it'd be cool to win UTMB though.
Yeah.
But it would be cooler to win comrades, and it would be more lucrative. That's the thing with the road as well. It would, but there is. Don't get me wrong. There is something, and I guess maybe that's why I love trail now, because I'm not at that standard. But there is something really cool about running really fast on roads.
Yeah.
Which is cool running fast on trail, but running really fast on the road when everything is aligned and you're having that day where you just feel great, and that is cool, you know. So that's I'm really grateful that I was able to do that to my best ability. I think. Well, no, I mean I probably could have done better, but at the time, you know, I've done pretty well in that respect. And then to go onto trail, but as I said with the trail, I feel that I'll never really be as good as I can, because I think you have to have always been running on trails to be really good at descending.
Okay. And
it's about confidence and about being free running down, and I'm still not like that, and I don't think I will, because I'm too tentative running down, so it takes some balls. Yeah, I'll always get overtaken going downhill, even though cardiovascularly I'm all right, it's really good, like my heart rate's not very high, but I'm like this, I'm still like that. I'm much better, but I'm still a little bit scared, and I don't think that will change. Where there's people, you know, the fell runners who are basically born with clover feet, hooves, and they run downhill really quick, so you know, they'll just go past me. That's kind of like they're the ones that are mountain goats. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So there's pros and cons for it all, really. Whereas on a road, you just have to run fast. Yeah. And you don't need to worry with anything around you. You can watch the Ks click by or the miles click by. Whereas on the trail, it's not like that. It's more like checkpoints, isn't it? Yeah. It's checkpoints and not knowing what's around the next corner and just how much of a mountain you're going to have to climb. Although if you've read the
the information pre-race, you should know.
Yeah, but you don't, because it means nothing until, because the other thing is, that's the funny thing where road runners go to trail or mountain stuff and they'll go, oh, well, it's only 10k to go. And you're like, yeah, that can take 3 hours.
Yeah. If you're dragging yourself up a hill.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, well, I actually agree with Holly there. I think, yeah, I would choose trail over road, but if I could be successful in one of them, it would be road.
And what did you say about up or down?
Down for me,
okay.
Just because I like the easy option all the time. And it is easy, isn't it? You can just roll with it.
Next time I want you to do a quick fire for people. I really like this. I listened to a podcast the other day where they did. Oh, it was marathon. It was Angie doing it marathon. She asked John Kelly. It was really good. It was, and you'd like this. It's foods.
Yeah.
So especially for trail or ultra runners. So she was like pizza or ice cream. And he's like, ooh, like just give them quick fire. It's actually really good.
Almost sort of would you rather with pork pies and beer. So would you rather fuel with pork pies or would you rather forevermore have beer after a race?
Oh, is this after race or during?
No, after.
Oh, beer afterwards. Yeah, I don't have pork pies after. I have pork pies during.
So you can fuel with a pork pie.
Yeah.
So in your ultras.
Yeah.
So forevermore you can have pork pies.
Yeah. Or no
pork
beer.
Pies, but you can have beer.
Beer. Sorry, Vale of Mowbray.
Yeah. Okay.
So do stuff like that. So lager, ale, or whatever. They're really good.
Yeah. No, I like that. That's it from me and Holly. It's been lovely chatting to you, but I really want to dig into the cakes now. They've been sat there for far too long. What I will do is put Holly's link. I'll say that again. What I will do is put Holly's link below for her website with your strength and conditioning and running plans. Is that right?
Yeah.
And all her social links. So you can go and give Holly a follow and see what she gets up to. It usually involves trails, it usually involves mountains, views, food. Anything I've missed from there? Pete sometimes.
Yeah. Yeah, that's about it really, yeah.
Good accounts to follow. And that's it for this 2-part special of Run With. I really hope that you enjoyed hearing from Holly. Do make sure that you check out the links below for all of her socials. And if you have enjoyed this video, please make sure that you do a thumbs up and a subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you know when future episodes are coming. And there are a lot more coming your way. In the meantime, stay safe and happy running.